Welcome back to this edition of Grizzlies Daily. I'm your host Malik, and we got some things to talk about. Like I said, we're looking forward to next season. We even got some news going into training camp. If you didn't know, and I kind of broke it yesterday, but we basically talked about it for a brief minute. Alex Reese, who formerly played for the Thunder and the most recently the 76ers out of Alabama, he signed a training camp deal with the Grizzlies. And I told you I did my research on him to see what he could bring to the table. I have some notes right here that I kind of took away from just watching highlights of him. He's your typical stretch big option that he can fit in the forward slot, he can fit in the center slot depending on what lineup it is. He's a pretty decent shooter actually. In his time in the NBA, he's averaged 5 points and 3 rebounds and a total of about 14, 15 minutes a game, and he's only appeared in 15 games. But in those games, he shot 47% from the field and 37% from the three. So he actually has a pretty decent game when it comes to offense. Defensively, he does have his ability to be a good shot blocker when he is in a prime position to. Solid rebounder. Yeah, and then I did some more research just on it just to see like what else he kind of stands out in, good or bad, and he definitely could be a good bench piece for some team. I don't know if it'll be the Grizzlies, but I do see why they gave him a training camp deal because he does bring a good amount of talent to the table. The only thing about it with him is he has some reports of Achilles soreness, um, which kind of hurt his ability to really just stand on the NBA roster. And then some about him, I didn't really see too much athleticism with him. So that's something that I have to look out for. Another thing I have to see from him is perimeter defense. Obviously, I didn't really see a whole lot because of the position that he plays, but I can't really speak on his perimeter defense. But I do know his interior defense. It's decent for someone at his size and ability. So, Alex Reese signs a training camp deal. He will probably see more, hear about him over time. I don't know if this means they're looking for somebody in that position to kind of bring their skill set, but only time will tell, and we just have to wait and see. Now, something that I did see a few days ago and have it right here, it was a report from Bleacher Report, Greg Schwartz. He basically ranked his top 10, well, not his top 10, he did a power rankings of every team's potential starting five. And surprisingly, the Grizzlies actually ranked 10th on this list. And I say surprisingly because the national media has done its course on the Grizzlies. I mean, I've seen power rankings where the Grizzlies are projected to finish ninth in the conference or, maybe not even finish top 15 sometimes. It's genuinely just that or they're on the brink of a top 15 team. A lot of expert media have the Grizzlies being a borderline play-in team. So seeing that the starting lineup has a top 10 ranking definitely did catch me a little off guard. I definitely thought they were going to be like 13th or 14th just off of previous records. But I'm not mad at it. I mean, if you look at it, I've already put out what I think the potential starting lineup when healthy is. It's Ja, Jalen Wells, KCP. Well, I think at the end of the day, it might be Ja, KCP, Jalen Wells, Jaren, and then Zach Edey. I say KCP at the 2 and Jalen Wells at the 3 because I believe that Jalen Wells fits better in a small forward role. He fits good in the shooting guard, but compared to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, we're talking about a guy who's played the 2 position longer than the 3 position. So I'd say, Jalen Wells, he's still versatile, so you can definitely, get him in the starting small forward role. That's if you really are big on Caldwell-Pope being there. And we've talked about Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He needs to have a pretty good season for his stint to work out with the Grizzlies. Really big on that because if you don't have that, then we're talking a different ball game right there. Now, obviously, with the small forward spot, I said Jalen Wells. really it all comes down to who shows the best potential and who shows the best skill. And the reason I say that is because when you put it to perspective, the Grizzlies have to choose between. I say I'm not even going to include Jalen Wells because I believe Jalen Wells is going to start. He's going to start all 82. So I think when you look at it, you definitely have to think you have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cedric Coward, G.G. Jackson, Vince Williams, a good list of names that could play the 3 spot. But I think when it comes down to it, just off, what we're seeing, I think at the end of the day, we're looking at a potential. I think we look at the potential of seeing them lean more towards Cedric Coward because you don't pick a guy out of a lottery. You don't pick a guy out of the lottery and just not play him that much. That just doesn't happen. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a competition. It's definitely going to be a competition. It's definitely going to be a battle to see who brings what talent and who fits well in Izolo's system, and who overall, the team feels more comfortable with playing. And honestly, I feel that it just goes to Cedric Coward. I mean, all the guys that I named, they're good in aspects, but I think Cedric Coward is an Izolo player. He's an Izolo player because he can play. He's a two-way scorer, so he can score inside, score outside. I think he's a guy that, not saying other guys aren't like G.G. Jackson and all that, but there's still, I think there's, when it comes to appeal, you're gonna look at fresh legs and think he's better. So I think that's what it comes down to. But there's still the possibility of other guys to take their spot, and as there is, I just want the Grizzlies to make the best choice that fits the team and leads to wins. That's all I really care about. Now we've talked a lot about shooting going into next season and the importance of it, but over time, I've thought about it, and looking back on the team's final 9 games and some in the games going into the playoffs, I think we may see the Grizzlies lean more towards inside play. Excuse y'all. I think we may see the Grizzlies go more towards inside play. Not saying it's going to be, a team. They're going to be a team that just decides to, completely eliminate the 3-point shot. But the team definitely, I think they take a leap towards, trying all aspects of trying to score on the court. And the reason I say that is because I think, like I said, the person that can benefit most from Izolo's system is Zach Edey. It's just that simple. I've seen Edey be on that, be more involved in a role, and I think offensively it could carry over to that. So I think we could see more inside. Obviously, we could see more potential. Well, not potential, but we could see more Jaren driving to the basket in the post. And I think when it comes to shooting, you lead that to the guys that are known to be shooters, like Ty Jerome, Scottie Pippen Jr., Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, maybe even a little Jaren, a little Ja. And this is just all aspects of the court. This is not just 3-point shooting. This is also mid-range as well. Because as much as people don't want to admit it, the mid-range is not dead. It's still very strong. And I think with guys like Cedric Coward and even a G.G. Jackson, even a Santi Aldama sometimes, the mid-range game is still very much alive. It's just teams have to be more willing for their players to expand on it. And I think the Grizzlies are a team that will be willing to let their players expand on it. So I say keep all hope when it comes to that. But I definitely do think we could see the Grizzlies become one of those teams that they could be efficient in shooting, but it won't be a high volume compared to how other teams shoot threes in the league. Because we've seen games where the Grizzlies had a point where they relied on shooting, and that turned out to be the downfall. I could name a few right here. Games against the Rockets, games against the Knicks, just games against the Lakers. Like, there are times where if the Grizzlies are not hitting on their threes, the game is over before it even starts. So I think the possibility of realizing the realization that you have more talent outside of a shot that everybody takes. That's going to get the Grizzlies far. I mean, you look at a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's a great shooter, but he's going to take that mid-range more than anything. He's going to get his way to the paint. Not saying Ja doesn't, but SGA has a way of going about it that makes him one of the more elite guards in the league. So that's why I say this is a play style that we could expect to see the Grizzlies try to, tackle on and make potential out of it. So I'm really looking forward to this season. If you couldn't tell, I'm trying to work out the bits and pieces because this isn't necessarily a big year, but it's a big lead up to the next year for the Grizzlies. And we need to make sure we can get the most out of the players that we have now because there's no telling what's going to happen to the roster between now and February, So just got to keep our eyes open to see what the Grizzlies can do to be successful. And that'll be a wrap for this edition of Grizzlies Daily. That's really all I got for today. Training camp is coming up, so can't wait to see that and, hear some good things about it. Then preseason, back in October. Can't wait for it. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you get notified anytime we upload. And that's for this edition. My name is Melek, and I'll be signing off.